Hello everybody, it's Jamie Rodgers here today from Craftmania, and today we are bringing you our brand new December hand-picked buy bundle. Now I'm going to be honest with you, this is the hugest saving we have yet done. This bundle is worth over £70 and it's yours for only £30, and that even includes free UK P&P. Now if you've never seen our showcases before, what this really is all about is I've raided our warehouse, I've gone and found a whole host of things that I think you're really going to love, and I've brought them together for you on one incredibly special offer. Now what we're going to do is we're going to look through the bundle. I've also got a really exciting promotion to tell you about. I'm then going to share with you 10 different cards that I have personally made and tell you a little bit about them. And then I'm going to demo one of them as well for you and show you a couple of other products as we go through to hopefully inspire you to see how you can use this bundle. Lots to get through. I'll try and be as quick as I can, but there is an awfully big bundle to tempt you with. Now, before we get onto this month's bundle, on the end of last month's bundle, we announced that we were going to give away the December bundle completely free of charge to one person who entered our competition on our Facebook group, which is Create with Craftmania and Jamie Rodgers. All you had to do was share a post and stick a hashtag on it to be entered in to actually win. And I'm really pleased to announce that our winner is Wendy Walters. So Wendy, we've got your address already from the purchase of your last bundle. So one is already been dispatched to you and will be en route to you completely free of charge. Now, if you're sitting here watching this and thinking, well, where's my winnings? What can I get? Well, before we move on to this one, we have got the 12 days of Christmas, which is going to kick off today, being the 1st of December, and go on for the next 12 days. Now, there is so much going on in this, I've had to write it all down because I can't remember it. There's that much happening, and I can only tell you fractions of it today. So do keep an eye on all our socials throughout December as more comes up. But the bits I'm allowed to tell you about at the moment. So starting today, we're going to have a quiz, and there will be questions appearing on our Facebook page, which is of course Craftmania. The first one will go up at 5 o'clock today, and it'll tell you all about it, so I don't have to keep you here for hours telling you all the T's and C's. But the first question is going to be, in the song The 12 Days of Christmas, what is the gift given on the 3rd day? That's quite easy to find out, isn't it? So they're not going to be rocket science quiz questions, but all you've got to do is collect all the different questions, find all the right answers, email them to us on the address given in the description of the quiz, and you could win yourself a £25 Craftmania gift voucher. That's one bit of it. The next bit is, for every £30 you spend, now I'm giving this away because we know this is going to be £30, but every £30 you spend on the website or in store, you're going to be given a free raffle ticket. And the more you spend, the more raffle tickets you're going to get. And on the 12th day, we're going to pick one lucky winner who's going to receive £75 worth of Craftmania vouchers. Now, if you're watching this and thinking, well, does that mean I've got to divide my orders into multiple orders? So if I spend £90, do I want to break it into 3 to get free raffle tickets? Don't even think about it. If you spend £90, we'll put free raffle tickets into your parcel, or if you come in store, then we'll give you free raffle tickets. So there's literally multiples of £30. Every £30 you spend, you'll be given another chance to win £75 worth of vouchers. On top of that, I told you, it's all going on, isn't it? On top of that, our last bit I'm allowed to tell you about at this point is like last month, where we gave you the opportunity to share your creations with us from the hand-pick buy. This month, we're going to open it up to everything. Every project you have created, we want to see it as long as it follows the group rules. And all you've got to do is share it with a hashtag 12 days, and you could win a £50 gift voucher. Again, completely free of charge. All you've got to do is share with us. And that, again, is on our closed Facebook group, which is, of course, Create with Craftmania and Jamie Rodgers. So if you're not a member yet, get on there, join in, and share with us what you're up to. It can be from this bundle, or it can be anything else that you've created. As long as it follows the rules on what you're allowed to share, we would love to see it. I'll run through all of that again at the end of the video, but there's just a few of the promotions that are taking place over the first 12 days of December, and there is more, just not yet allowed to tell you about it. So then, no further ado, let's look at what's in your bundle, shall we? Now, as I mentioned, this is our biggest one yet. It's worth £70 and 45p. So in here, we're going to kick things off with our first Sue Wilson die. Now, this one is our Gillian die, and in here we have 4 different dies for you to have a little look at. Now, like a lot of the dies we bring you in our bundles, because we have so many options or so many dies, it means we have lots of different options. So I've gone ahead here and I've got the 4 pieces from in this one set. They're going to come to you all nested, obviously, but you've got them as 4 separate components. Now, I know I often waffle on about this, but this means that we can use this one to cut our aperture, or we can use this one to cut a backing plate to go behind our lacy one. This reminds me a bit of a spirograph, which I think is really pretty. This one doesn't have a blade around the outside of it, so it will actually stay in your cardstock unless you nest it inside, obviously, the matching panel. In the centre of that, you can then add an extra embellishment if you'd like to, and that too will stay in there to give you a really delicate doily. Or you can, of course, use the circle to cut that out as more like a frame, or you can, of course, cut that part out as a circle and layer it on the top. So we always go on about this, but when Sue designs a die, she likes you to have as much creativity with it as you can. So by breaking these down to individual components, gives you more freedom to get creative with it. And that's going to be the first die set that is in your bundle. Moving on, next we have the Lexi die. Now this die, again, 4 different dies in here. I really like the look of this one. It's got that sort of shape to it that just means it's going to lend itself to many things. You could tile this if you want to. Again, you've got the 4 different components. So just like the last one we looked at, we have that separate star, we have that backing plate to go behind it, then you've got your actual shape, and then a separate die going around that one as well. So again, if you want to cut it into your card, you can. If you want to cut out layers with it, you can. Cut frames for your albums. This one's quite a nice size. You could be putting photographs in there if you would prefer. So lots of options with that one. Then moving on. Now this I'm absolutely in love with. This is our elegant laced edge. Now in here we have got 1 corner piece and then this sort of border bar. Now the packaging doesn't really show you enough ideas, but you can already see down here, just with these 2 dies, some of the pieces which you can create. Whether you want to use just the border bar to make up a frame like this one, whether you want to use just the corner to make up a filigree square, whether you want to bring this part in and make up sort of a central panel with it, or whether you want to use them all together, it's up to you. One of the bits I quite like with this one as well is if you want to extend it, because of the way that the border is designed, it's very easy to just carry on layering it and making larger frames. So if you're a scrapbooker, for instance, you could easily build up into a scrapbook. If you just want corner elements, you can use them together. If you'd like to make a wider corner, then you can bring in the small corner and the large corner and actually make a much larger corner for your card, your scrapbook page, your home decor. There's so many options with this one, and it's part of the configuration set. Because of that, it's got all of those options in there. There are more ideas on the reverse here as well, showing you more layouts that you could be creating. But to be honest, the minute you've got these, you're going to get sort of very inspired and be able to go off on so many different tangents. On top of that, so bear in mind this is only £30. We've already done 3 Sue Wilson dies. We're then going to bring you an 8x8 rope chain embossing folder. Now this is a traditional embossing folder. It's got a really lovely pattern to it. You're very easy to ink over the top if you'd like to add more to it, and we'll be doing that in the demo that we do today in this little video. But a really good folder to work with. Very general as well, depending on the colours you add to it or the colour card you use in it. Could be just about any season really. Also really nice for men's cards too. So a good one to have in your stash if you haven't already got that. Then if we move on, now this is really, these are special. These are Phill Martin paper pads, and there are 2 different pads. I'll show you both of them actually at the same time so you can get the idea quicker. In here we have 8x8 pads, we have the solid patterns, and then we have the insert collection. Now Phil's designed these so you've got that special place to put your message if you want to use them on the inside of your cards. If you don't want to use them on the inside of your cards, then of course you can use them on the front of your card as well. There are so many fun ways we can use these. But in each of the pads, you're going to receive 48 double-sided sheets. They're 170 GSM, and you've got 12 designs in 4 colours, 2 of each. So in case that doesn't quite sort of ring true as what you're actually going to be receiving, we have got balloons on one side. We of course have got the black background with the white balloon. We flip that over and you've got it opposite instead. You've then got these really cool chalkboard balloons as well, and again you've got them with a black background or a white background. You've then got happy birthday as we flick through this, again going through the different colours as well as the black and white. You've got heart designs, perfect for Valentine's. That's not going to be far away at all now, is it? And then if we carry on past those, we've got beautiful butterflies that again, perfect to work with in black and white, or you can use the coloured. But to me with these pads, it's more about what we can do to them. It's not just as you see them. Anytime we've got these black and white designs, we know that we can go in there with inks and colour them. And I'll show you that when we play with these shortly. But they're so easy to add colour to with your inks. You could also use your misters with them if you would prefer. Or of course you can bring in things like opal polish. Opal polish is brilliant. We know with opal polish that on black it's going to show up one colour, on white it's going to show up a different colour. So if you want to transform these into pearly backgrounds, what a perfect product to use with them. We also have Cosmic Shimmer watercolour palettes that you could be doing the same with, and lots of different products along them lines. Or you can just keep them as they are, go very monochrome, or stick to this really cool chalkboard pastel effect. We've gone past music notes, we're now into some lovely flowered sort of backgrounds as well. This one is my favourite. You're going to see this creep in a couple of times on the different designs as we go through them. And again, I really like the way you've got that with a solid black background, or if you prefer more with the white background, again, really lovely to colour. And it's nice that you've got more than one sheet as well. And as always, if you don't like one side, you've got the reverse to use, or maybe you want to do fold backs and show that reveal between the two colours, you can absolutely do that. Or if you want to do lasso designs with them, that's going to work really nicely too. And then if you do want to use them on the inside as well as the outside, we've got the insert pad to take you through too. That completes that one, but wasn't there a lot in that? You know, I managed to just carry on waffling through all of it, but there's an awful lot in there. With this one, same idea again, it's the same design. So the minute we open this pad up, if we go to the back of this one as well, you can see presents on both of them, the same idea, but with this one we've got that shape taken out of the middle there. So you've got that insert element. And if we just flick through this, because you're going to get the idea very quickly, same designs as what we went through in the last pad, but with them elements put in the centre. So you can use them to build up with your flowers, with your photos, with your sentiments, use them as the inserts if you want to, use them for the top of boxes, use them for the front of your cards. The options are just endless, and they're all going to coordinate perfectly between both of the pads. And that will complete December's handpicked by bundle. Now hopefully you're going wow, because there's a lot there for you to have a little look at. As I mentioned, £70.45. It's the largest saving we have ever bought to you with a handpicked by bundle, and you can have all of this delivered to you if you live within the UK for just £30, because at any time you shop with us it's free P&P over £5 if you live in the UK. Now if you're one of our international customers, of course we send international. We do loads of business internationally. You can of course order this to have it delivered to you anywhere in the world, and currently our P&P is still capped at just £10. So pop online, have a little look on the T's and C's to see how international shipping works, but the most you're going to pay is £10 to have that sent to you anywhere in the world. So you're still going to have a huge saving versus what the recommended retail price is for all of them components individually. Now we've teased you with the bundle, I suppose we better show you how you could create with this, or what you could create with this. And don't forget, just in case I waffled a bit too much at the beginning, you are, of course, £30 for your bundle. You're going to get your first raffle ticket to get your chance to win a £75 gift voucher to spend with us at Craftmania, whether you wish to spend that in-store or online. So your first ticket will be in the bag the minute you've ordered this lot. Now, truth time. I often stand here and I tell you that I've done all of these in a day, and this month is even worse than that. Being honest with you, our delivery got lost, and I've only had a matter of hours to play with some of these components, mostly the paper pads. So I've done some very quick cards to hopefully give you some ideas. Now, if you are new to this and completely never seen it before, what you might not know is we also have a blog on the Craftmania website, where our lovely Craftmania design team, who consists of Lynn and Ian, will actually share posts with you twice weekly, and they'll be using the products in the bundle, sharing more ideas with you, with full write-ups of what they've used, how they've done them. They're also going to be bringing in some other components we'll talk about shortly as well, and sharing ideas of those as well throughout the month of December. So it's not only about my ideas, do check out those as well. They come up with the most incredible projects, so it really is worth looking at. But with my quick time allowance, I've just created a few random cards to hopefully give you some ideas. Now on this one, I've taken obviously our paper pad and I've used it with our inks, and we're going to talk about our inks shortly, and I'll show you how I made that background. Ever so simple, just playing with some Make Art ink pads. We've of course got that Jillian die in the middle here. I've added a little butterfly, and I've brought in another flower die which we'll talk about shortly. But very quick, very easy card to create, nothing complicated there. Moving on again to another one of our quick simple ones with the paper pads. This time we've gone for the white backed paper with a black print, same as the happy birthday, but gone a bit darker with the inking and the blending to give it a more moody effect. I've gone for again one of the ones with that circle in the middle, same as the card before, but this time I've chose to ink it just in yellow. This is actually our sunflower yellow from the Make Art ink pads, just to give that sort of radiating effect. Again, I've gone for Gillian in the middle this time, but we've gone for a black with a silver backing because we've got that ability. On the first card we did, we just kept it white and didn't put the backing underneath it. So again, you're straight away seeing that freedom to be creative. Same flower that's going to come up shortly. I'll show you that actually. This is our Sue Wilson flower, and you're going to see this used through quite a lot of the cards. This is the pierced layered flower. You'll find that on the website at the moment with 15% off recommended retail price. So again, if you'd like to add that one into your basket, it will also be on the same hand-picked by page, and I'll tell you where to find that shortly. But this is the flower that's going to feature quite a lot throughout the different examples. Moving on to our third card, this time I've gone for different yo-yoing patterns between the pads, and we've done some with the white with the black sort of text or print, and then we've gone for the black background with the white instead and yo-yoed through those, just playing around with our inks to layer them. We've also got the corner details, same as on the last card. I added those little corner pieces on. This one again has got those corners on one of our layers, but it's just showing you how you can build up just with inks to take those black and white pages and turn them into really fun and colourful ones. Then if we move on to our next card, this time I've used that border element out of our lovely elegant lace edge border set to make up this frame on some vellum. I've used our lovely patterned paper with the butterflies. This is the white one with the black, inked over that one. Gillian again placed in the centre here just on some tape or some foam tape, flowers in the corners, and then some of my sentiments. You're going to see a lot of these used. I'll give you a little flash of those shortly as well. These are my new mini sentiment collections that have been used, and I've added them onto the pierced tabs that come out with the Christmas collection as well, just building them pieces together. So that gives you another little idea of how we can be inking. Now I also mentioned how the pages would work well with our opal polish. Now opal polish has that brilliant ability to react differently over black and white cardstock. So this one is, if I remember rightly, was the wisteria polish. So we've got that lovely shade of purpley blue coming through depending on whether we're looking at the white or the black of the colour of the page. So again, do think about adding more to them. Again, Gillian just placed on the side here another little best friend sentiment added on, but that shows you 5 different ideas with the paper pads. And as I said, I didn't have a lot of time with these, so I stuck to what I know best, which is a nice 8x8 card. I've gone for lots of our scalloped cards. You're going to find them on the website as well, but just kept them quite simple. But there's no reason why you can't cut into those pages. Again, no reason why you can't use the ones with the opening to actually put on the inside as well. Obviously for videos, I don't worry too much about the inserts of the cards, but isn't it nice to know that you can have the patterns on the outside and the inside all matching and coordinating? And that's what having elegant products like that are going to do for you. Now these cards I had a little bit longer with, and I started these while I was waiting for my pads to arrive, hence my lost box. So a little bit more has gone into these ones to hopefully give you some ideas. But this time we've got that corner element, or that border element I should say, creating a corner, and I've used that on the inside of the card. I've also then put it around the outside. I've used the smaller corner on the little fold back tab. I've just glue gunned that down. I've been blending. All of the colour of this one has come from the pink peony ink pad we'll look at soon. In the middle we have the Lexi die, and then I've just added a get well soon and some French marigold flowers around there. I've also stamped all over my card using the French script stamp by Sam Paul, which again you'll find on the website, just to give that bit of texture to the actual card blank. So another way you can build up, but all done with the pink peony Make Art ink pad. Now this one's just a small card because I do like to show how we can use the same items to create smaller cards. It doesn't always have to be the big cards I tend to go for. But this time we've got the Gillian die cut in the middle here, just layered 3 times with different cutouts being used because of them freedom to create with all the different dies. The corner elements from obviously that elegant border set as well. And then behind that we've also got the rope embossing folder just done in white to go on the background. Moving on to our next card, this time a bit more colour, gone back up to an 8x8, but we've used the border piece and the corner piece to make a larger frame. As you can see, going to fit perfectly onto an 8x8 card. We then have that rope background embossing folder used here with ink pads just brushed over the top. Again, that's going to be your sunflower and your pink peony from the Make Art colours. Jillian die cut again in the middle, with love down here on the little corner, and a few French marigold flowers just to complete that effect. Then on to my last card. So this one brings together both the border set and the corners. So we've got the corners in white, we've got the border pieces actually making up a diamond on this square panel. And then in the middle here, we've got the Lexi die, again using that back panel to it because we've got that ability to do so. And then the front part cut as the sort of open work, with love coming in down on the little tab here from my mini sentiments collection. And then again, that flower that we just looked at from the Sue Wilson board a moment ago, bringing that one together. Now this is the actual card I'm planning on demoing for you today, so I'll talk to you more about this one in just a second. But as you can see, we're going to be working with the embossing folder. We also have the dies from the border set, we've got the Lexi die, the word dies and the flowers all coming together to make our really pretty in pink coloured card. But before we do this, I wanted to talk to you just a little bit about a couple of the bits I've mentioned. So I'll place these out of the way for the second. I'm running out of room. I do this every time, get a bit carried away and then I end up with no room. The sentiments we were just talking about, these are my sentiments designed by myself, and these are already out and you'll find these on our website. We've currently got 15% off of them individually as an introductory offer. There is also a bundle set as well, so if you look at these and you think I need all of them, you can absolutely do that. We've just gone past the baby set. There's also an essentials set, there's female relatives, there's also male relatives as well. And we've then got another essentials set going through all of the different things you're hopefully going to need throughout the year. And we have a wedding set as well. And you can view all of these, so you can have a good read of them on the website if you'd like to. But what I really wanted was small text that could be made up for any occasions really, whether it be on the inside of your card, the outside of your card, on your scrapbooking, on your home decor, but be able to actually string together sentences and direct them to the people that you actually want to send a card to. So maybe it is the thinking of you you'd like, and then you want to add in son or grandpa or nephew or any of them finishing pieces. Hopefully you're really liking the look of these, and if you haven't seen them, you can check them out again on the website. They too will be under the handpicked by tab for December, so you can see them in with the bundle if you do go to have a look at the bundle. And do check out the bundle pack of those. Again, well, don't forget, every £30 you spend, you will get that free raffle ticket to win 75. So the more we spend, the more chances we have to win, which is the way I like it. So let's have a look then. I also mentioned inks, didn't I? Now I am slowly collecting all of the Make Art inks. There are 24 of these to actually collect. So I've only brought a few of them in with me today. These are the colours that I've actually used throughout the examples to give you an idea. Now I know that Lynn and Ian also have more colours that they're going to be using on their blog posts. But we have got Garden Patina, Pink Peony, Forget Me Not, Cactus Flower, Tea Rose, Sunflower and Poppy. They're the ones I've used through my examples. But do, as I say, keep an eye on Lynn and Ian. There will be more coming from them with these pads as well. And they will tell you the colours they've been using as they, of course, appear online. Now, one of the bits I wanted to share with you just quickly is how, of course, we can take our papers from our pads and add colour to them with a dye ink like this one. It doesn't have to be a dye ink, but this is the ink I chose to play around with this time. So I'm just using a smoothie. I'm working on a blending mat. You'll find both of these on the Craftmania website. Just picking up the colour and I'm just working in a small circular motion to add my colour on here. Now, of course, we do add more shade to the black as we go over. This is the sunflower I'm using at the moment, but I quite like that. It gives it quite a nice tone. Now, just check I've got the right colour smoothie, but let's go for some cactus flower. And again, what we're going to do is we're just going to blend this in together. Because of these inks are really lovely. They're a Ranger ink. So they're made by an incredible company. They're the same people who make all of the Tim Holtz products, or inks as such, and all his sort of consumables in that sense. So an incredible company, but they're designed by Wendy Becky, bought out by Ranger, 24 different colours, and not only are they blendable, you can also stamp with them and you get a lovely crisp image. But very quickly it shows you how we can take our black and white paper and bring in quite a lot of colour to it, which is something I really liked and wanted to share with you. These are also water reactive as well. So if we take the same inks and we put them down just onto any surface, maybe a glass mat if that's what you've got to hand, but let's just add in a few pieces around here. We'll just add in a couple bits. Let's go for some card and patina as well. Trying not to cross over my ink splats too much so I don't contaminate my pads. And then we're going to bring in some water. And we're going to mist this just to activate all of that ink actually on the mat. And then let's go for a page out of our booklet, shall we? Let's have a little look through this one. Shall we go for... Oh, it's got to be butterflies, isn't it? Let's play with them. Let's bring that one out. So I have this page here. As you can see, lovely, easy pages to bring out. Then all we're going to do is just take the actual page, start laying this down and picking it up. And we can look at it already. Already we've got colour there. Very simple background. But we can start going back and picking up more and more. And this is just a simple technique that we can do with ink pads. And you can play around with that. If it hasn't blended as much as you would like it to actually on your cardstock or your paper, give it a bit of a mist as well and watch the colours travel. But when this is dry, this is what we've created. How easy is that to play around with and get creative? So a real simple way to actually make up some background papers. And that's how I created the paper for this one. When we were talking about the blending a moment ago, this is the effects that you could create with the blending that we did on these cards here. So lots and lots of ways you can play around with them pages and add in more colour if that's something you would like to do. Now if we move these out of the way for a moment, and we go on to our card. Now here I go getting in a mess. Let's just remove these. Find me the pink one, because this card is all about the pink. So we're going to just dig that one out for a second. And we're going to bring in a couple of pieces. So this is again is the card that we're going to work on. And we're going to start off with the back panel to it. Now I've already done all my die cutting because I think you've seen that enough, haven't you? You don't want to watch a machine go for a few seconds. So I've done mine already in advance. And I've also done my embossing. So I've done the rope embossing folder. And I'm going to take the pink peony ink pad. Now if you don't like taking the ink directly to your cardstock, you don't have to. You could use a brayer. You could load up the brayer and go over the top of the card. But I like to show you how easy things can be. And this, to me, is the easiest way to add colour onto an embossed surface. Now, what's quite nice with this is you'll notice that because of the way the folder has been designed, we're not getting colour in the background. We're only adding colour to the top of it. So the minute that sets to dry and goes down, it'll go slightly lighter. But that's the effect we've managed to achieve really simply and easily. If you wanted to bring in other colours and you want to blend them together on your project, you absolutely can do. So this one is a little bit of sunflower and we can just add in some areas of that one. If we then wanted to, I quite like bringing in a cactus flower to that as well. And then we might even add in just a small amount for a contrast of the garden patina, just to give that slightly darker tones in the corners. Now when that sets down, that's going to give you a really lovely rainbow effect that will end up very similar to this style of blending or colour of blending that you could then lay in with the same project or use on the insert, for instance. So lots of ways we could play around with that one. So we've done that part, so let's bring this in and add that to our card. So I've gone for one of our scalloped cards. Now we do quite a lot of these now on the website, but this one is a 7x7 scalloped card. And we're going to add our glue onto the back here. I'm just using some Dries Clear Cosmic Shimmer glue because it does what it says. It'll dry clear and it'll dry nice and quickly, and it's a nice firm glue. So I can take that and place that down. For the next part of the card that we're going to work on, we're going to bring in our backing part. Now this, I've already done ahead, or jumped ahead. I'd like to try and do as much as I can do in advance. So I've taken 3 of my pieces and added them on. Now to do this, I tend to put glue out onto my hand, which always do a little patch test if this is something you're going to do. Not everyone reacts well to glue, but I've been doing this for a lot of years and so far I'm still here, so we're doing all right. And then I'm going to bring that in and place that down, just going to the edge of my card. And again, with this glue, you've got that little bit of wiggle room, so if it's not quite level, you've got a second or so to move it into place. So we're going to bring in our pink ink and we're going to blend this over the top. So you can do this as harshly or as lightly as you'd like to, taking it further into the project if you wish. Now I do tend to work on a mat, But I will be honest, I forgot to bring a spare, so we're just working on some paper here. But as you can see, I'm trying to work mostly onto the project, so it doesn't matter too much if we go over the edge. But we can just lightly blend this. Again, smoothies are brilliant. You're going to notice there's no stop marks with our blending. Just stick to a circular motion and we can work all the way around the project. And we will end up with quite a lovely frame actually, that could of course have the middle cut out and be turned into a picture frame if you'd like to, or can be the start of our building up. So we've got that part in place. Let's bring that in now. I've got one done. And we're going to add this onto just a white layer. So I've cheated. I've gone ahead and I've added my foam tape in place already. I always feel like I don't want to keep you here forever. And I want you to see as many ideas as I can share with you as quickly as possible. So I'll place that down onto the white bit there. We're then going to take our tape off of the back of this one. And we're going to place this onto the one with our panel already done. That can then go down on here. So that rope now has just become this rope embossing bit. It's just a subtle border going around our actual panel. We can then bring in our Lexi die. Now this time with the Lexi die, I've actually cut the middle out. Now don't forget you've got the option to leave that in the middle if you'd like to as a solid. But we've actually gone ahead and cut it out this time so that we have that area open. And I'm just going to take some ink and just brush this around the side. If you find it easier to do it the same as we did before, you can do. If you want to hold it so it's not sort of being absorbed into the paper, you can just brush against it. Just carry on going around, adding your ink in place. So we've got that nice shade going around that matches everything else we've been up to. So I'm quite happy with that. I think that's quite a nice panel. Now I would bring this in, and I've got one here I've done with my tape on. I've added some pearls already. Now you're going to be able to see my tape because I knew when I was doing this, I was going to cover that up with my flowers. So I wanted the frame to be suspended or raised. So I've gone for putting the foam tape in this L format so that I can then place the flowers around this part and leave that part as sat open and exposed so that you don't see any tape under there. We'll take the tape off the reverse of this one. And even though I'm on a scalloped card, we will just give that a little check that we're in the right way. And we're going to place this. What way did we do it on our last one? Let's keep it somewhere near similar, shall we? Actually, let's go for a square one. Last time we went for the point at the top and the bottom. This time we'll go square instead. Then we have our wording. So for our wording piece, I've gone for a with love. Now I've cut out the with love, of course, from my little sentiment collection. And I've already bought in one of the little tabs to place that on. And you've seen me do quite a bit of just stress work now, or inking, blending. So I've already gone ahead and I've done that over the top of this panel as well. And we can then bring this and we can place that coming out the middle and over the edge. And I'd recommend that you put that in place before you do your flowers. So when you come to placing your flowers, you know that you're not covering up the wording. Now with our flowers, I have gone for this lovely set that I shared with you earlier. This is the pierced layered collection from Sue Wilson. And this is the one that we're going to be using for this card. So I've gone ahead and I've cut these already. Now this is a really lovely flower with this incredible little pierced detail running around the side here. She's also added these lovely embossed bits. And when you look at the actual panel, you can see you've also got these dots. So if you wish to put them in the centre, you can do that as well. With mine, all I'm going to do is take the same pink peony, because we're just working in one tone for this card. And I'm just going to brush that against each of the petals, stopping when we get to these engraved lines or debossed lines. That's going to be my guide as how far into the petal I wish to go with my ink. Then to shape my flower, I'm going to use a paintbrush, but you could use anything that you've got to hand that's of a similar size. And I'm going to wrap each of the petals just around the handle of the paintbrush, just to give them that sort of curved effect. And then when I get all the way around, I'm going to lift this up and push that down in the centre so that we have our raised flower. I would then do that multiple times with different sizes. So we'll do a larger one here without the inking. The white looks lovely as well, to be honest, but I do like that little hint of colour, and I would do exactly the same and then just offset these, layer in them from each one and then building them together. And that's what I've done to create the flowers that you see here. And then I've just added in one of our little pearls. Now these are our sun pearls. And again, you'll find them on the Craftmania website. A lot of people ask about these. They come in white, cream and silver, but they're the middles to flowers that I use all of the time. And they're really good value as well. You get an awful lot on your sheet for not that much money. So they are one I go back to time and time again. Gone for some nice cream pearls in the centre. So we're just going to bring in lots of these flowers. I got a bit carried away, but don't forget we want to cover up that foam tape. So I'm going to bring them sort of shaped around the Alexi frame, tucking them in, covering up that area where possible. We'll go for another one at the top here as well. Now they always say we should work in odd numbers, don't they? I don't always adhere to that rule, being honest, but this time I have managed it. Don't follow many rules, being honest, but we have this time got to our 5. So I'll tuck that one in under there as well, giving those just a second to set. And then I've got a few leaves as well. That set of flowers also comes with quite a few leaves. So I'm just going to bring out some glue, and then we can just go in and pick these up and tuck them coming out from underneath the flowers. Now I know it always seems a bit odd because I try and move my flowers to put my leaves in place, but I do find it easier if I put the flowers down and then put the leaves under where I want them to be. And I really like these ones. They're quite delicate, especially these little sort of sprigs. I know on the set you've got these large leaves as well as the sprigs, but to me I really like the way these sort of fit in and come out from underneath. This is the time I tend to get a bit carried away. Whenever I make a card, it's got more foliage and flowers on it than anything else. But I think these really are very detailed. If you have any questions about today's demo and you'd like to pop your questions in the comments, please don't hesitate to do so. If I can answer them, I promise I will do my very best to. You can also always give us a call as well. Our telephone number is 01493 843 666, and Daphne is on hand to not only take your orders if you'd like to order that way, but also try and help answer any questions you may have. So please never be afraid to give us a call. It's a local UK rate, obviously. There's no hellishly expensive terms or call line numbers there. So if you do prefer to talk to us, then we're always here to help you if we can. And that completes our card. Now I'm possibly pushing the boundaries a little bit with the glue, but we'll hope them flowers stay in place. And I'll stand up the original one as well, because I always think the original ones are built with a little bit more time and possibly a little bit more care. So it'll give you an idea of them as well. Now the ink pads I've been using, these Make Art ink pads, as I mentioned, there are 24 different colours of these. This is just a few of the ones I have. You're going to find them all on the website as well, and they've all got 15% off if I remember rightly. I know they're on special offer, and I know they're at £4.92 a pad if I remember rightly. You can also buy a bundle as well if you'd like to give them a try. There is a bundle set that saves you even more, so you might like to check that out as well if there's something you'd like to get your hands on. Of course, we're in that perfect time at the moment to do our Christmas shopping, aren't we? And especially with that offer at the moment as well, to get your free raffle tickets, it's something you might like to add in too. Now, we've spoke about a lot of products, and I've told you all the way along that you can go onto the website and you can find them under the Handpicked By banner. That's literally located on the top of the website. You'll see lots of different menu pieces. One of them says Handpicked By. If you give that a click, it will open up and it will show you our previous Handpicked By bundles and the links to the videos. It will also show you all of the bits that we spoke about today, whether they be in the Handpicked By or actually separate as well. This is the first time too that you will find all of the elements we've looked at available for sale individually as well. So if you don't want the whole bundle, obviously that's where the biggest saving is, but if you would like to just pick a little bit here or there, or maybe you're looking at them pads and thinking, well, I love them, I know I'm going to want more than one, then of course you could add another one of those into your bundle as well, and when you come to check out. You can also find this same page if you go to the little TV screen at the top and click on what's seen on TV. You'll then find it was launched on the 1st of December and it will be on there as well. So you can find it in that sense too if you find that one easier. Now, just to recap through your bundle, what we have for you this month is worth £70.45, and it actually contains your rope embossing folder. We have the Elegant Lace Edge die set. We have the Lexi die set, we have the Gillian die set, and then we have them 2 incredible paper pads, one for your inserts, with all of them shapes ready there for you to add your journaling to, or your writing, your photos, or build up on top of. And then of course you've got the matching patterned backgrounds, which are the solid patterns for you to use for all your card making, home decor, scrapbooking, etc. Now don't forget that should be £70.45, but it is only £30, including free UK P&P. Of course, don't forget, and I know I waffled on about this at the beginning, but we are in our 12 days of Christmas from the 1st of December, and there are lots of promotions coming up and going to be going on through that one. But just to recap the ones I told you about at the beginning, Got to read them again because I can never remember anything. We have our quiz that starts on the 1st of December, where you can win a £25 Craftmania gift voucher. Look out on the Craftmania Facebook page at 5 p.m. on the 1st of December for your first question and all of the terms to be announced. We then have the spend £30 and win £75 worth of vouchers. And don't forget, that's for each £30 you spend. You don't have to check out multiple times. If you spend £120 in one transaction or above, you're going to get your 4 tickets as such. All the way up to 150, then you'd get 5, and so on and so forth. So don't feel you've got to break it down. We will process that for you, whether that's in store or online. You will receive the right amount of tickets per £30. And then, of course, don't forget, because this is actually really important, this is the bit we love to see, is when you share with us what creations you've been making, whether that's from the bundle that we're looking at, a previous handpicked buy, or just about anything else, as long as it follows the rules of the group. And the group that you need to do that in, of course, is Create with Craftmania and Jamie Rodgers on Facebook. Don't forget to use your hashtag 12 days to enter, and somebody will win a £50 Craftmania voucher. Huge congratulations again to Wendy Walters for winning the bundle, and I hope you enjoy that when you get it through the post, obviously from last month's competition. Thank you all very much for watching, and if I don't see you again, have a lovely Christmas. I'm sure I'll see you before then, but thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon in the new year. Thanks a lot. Bye for now.